Hi everyone, Michael Elliott here, president of Amherst College. I'm here in Johnson Chapel today with Between Two Mammoths. And I'm here today with Navya Kapadia, who is a member of the class of 2024, so just about to begin her very last semester here at Amherst College. Navya is a philosophy and neuroscience major. And Navya, why don't we start there, actually, with that set of majors? So you really are drawn to the study of the mind from very different perspectives. Tell me a little bit more about how that happened.
Yeah, so I was always super interested in science. I went to a very science-heavy school. And then I think my sophomore year of high school, I did a little program where I took a philosophy class over the summer, and I loved it so much. I had never studied philosophy before, but I just fell in love with it. So I knew for sure that when I came to college, I wanted to do that and also, cultivate my love for science. And I thought about which sciences have the most overlap with philosophy, and I decided upon neuroscience, and it's been great.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. Now, I hear that you are currently working on a thesis on belief and responsibility, and it raises some questions, especially about how that relationship changes with the advent of AI. Tell us a little bit more about the thesis.
Yeah, so as I have learned this semester, there's a lot of setup we need to do before we get to solving the problem of AI. So basically what I'm trying to do is create a framework for how control affects belief in human beings, and then hopefully we can map that onto AI and kind of compare and contrast questions of responsibility. There's this concept called epistemic agency, which entails taking control of your beliefs. So I'm asking, can we take control of our beliefs? Will an AI be able to take control of their beliefs? So yeah, it's been fun, but difficult.
That's great. So what's your advice for somebody who's thinking about writing a thesis?
Deciding to write a thesis is not a rational judgment that you make. For me, it was very driven by love of philosophy and love of the mind. So I would say if you love something beyond reason, you write a thesis on it.
Well, I'm so glad you found something to love beyond reason, and especially here at Amherst. Do you have a little community of thesis writers that you connect with?
Oh yeah, two of my best friends, actually three of my best friends, we're all writing theses, and they're all in different departments. And so proofreading each other's work has been really interesting for me. I have a friend writing a thesis in Black Studies, and I just read a section of her first chapter last night, and it was about dance and expression. And I was like, wow, do you want to read my passage about control?
Well, it's great that you can have that kind of exchange.
Yes.
So you are going into last semester. The thesis will be done at some point, whether you want it to be or not. Have you thought about what comes next after graduation?
Yes, actually. So I have been kind of growing and developing my love for research throughout my time in college, and I realized that I really, really would love to do research post-college. But before I do a PhD or do a master's or any grad school like that, I really want to get some work experience, but I want to put my two majors together for my work experience. So I'm looking into biotech jobs, maybe AI.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be excited to see what happens and what you learn about AI once you get out into the workforce beyond Amherst College. Before you graduate, though, can you tell us about maybe a favorite spot on campus, a place that you go to detach a little bit, or just a place that you'll return to after you graduate?
Yeah, actually, I live in Lipton, so there's a little patio behind Lipton, and I sit there in an Adirondack chair like this one with my neighbor, and we talk about life and graduation and how it is to be in college.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad you get to do that, and thank you for making some time to talk with us on Between Two Mammoths today.
Yeah, thank you so much.